Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series presented by the Education Committee for the Southern California PGA. The Catalyst webinar series is a bi-weekly educational platform for creating success and change in your club and career. We're very excited to have Brandy Cain, the one and only Brandy Cain, on the webcast this morning. Brandy is the lead for the PGA of America Hope program. She oversees the national program for the largest sports organization in America, helping 29,000 PGA members connect and serve veterans throughout the flagship. Thank you, Brandy, for being here this morning. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series.
Well, John, thanks for having me again.
Of course. We're lucky to have you on the webcast. What you do is phenomenally selfless, and the opportunity to educate the section on what you do and how beneficial it is to veterans throughout the country is something that needs to be celebrated and communicated, and we could all use that education on what you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You want me to just kind of jump right in?
Jump right into it.
Sure. So thank you all again for being here and for sharing your morning with me. I know PGA professionals are some of the busiest people I've ever met, and you have so many demands on your schedule. So I'm honored and blessed that you would share some time with me. So as John mentioned, I'm Brandy. I'm your national lead for PGA Hope, which is of course part of PGA Reach. So I always like to give people a little bit of context on PGA Reach, just in case they've maybe haven't heard of it or need a little bit of refresher. But PGA Reach is your 501c3 nonprofit part of the PGA of America. So you've got your C6, which oversees membership, our commercial endeavors, our tournaments, all those kind of things. And then over here on the charitable side, we really consider ourselves the method by which PGA members can make an impact in their communities. So we impact the lives of youth through junior league scholarships. We have our flagship PGA Hope program for our military and our active duty and our veterans. And then we have PGA Works for our diverse populations and making the golf industry look more like America. And then we have a Place to Play, which is a new initiative which increases access to golf. So you can see that, really what we're trying to do is elevate the golf industry, elevate the PGA member by all the good that all of you are already doing in your communities. So I get the good fortune of every day getting photos like this. And this is a photo from the Bronx in New York in our Met section. And this is a recent graduation that they had just 2 weeks ago. So every day around the country, veterans like these men and women are getting the chance to use the game of golf to change their lives. And so when you think about why does Brandy do this, these men and women right here. So what is PGA Hope and who is your national team? So you have me, of course. I'm a military spouse. My husband actually left the house at 5 a.m. this morning to go to Army training. So I live it and see it and breathe it every single day in my own household. I joined the PGA in May of 2021. So I've been in the thick of it with you for almost a year and a half now. You have Chris on my team, who's a Marine Corps veteran. He's also the former National Director for Adaptive Sports for the Department of Veterans Affairs. I call Chris my work husband, and then of course Matt is my house husband, so I'm surrounded by veterans on all ends of my life. You have Judy Alvarez, who's our national trainer. She's a 2019 Patriot Award winner. She's the one who created our training program, and she's the one who's really out there connecting with PGA members, helping them get started in PGA Hope. And then on the Southern Cal side, you have Anthony Leon and Amberlyn Dorsey, and Amberlyn's on the call, and they are your Southern California PGA Foundation and your PGA Hope section lead. So my job is to support their success here in your section in any which way that looks like. So why PGA Hope? So I showed you that photo originally, and I always start with why, because on the other end of the golf club, there's going to be a person whose life you're going to change if you get involved with this program. And PGA Hope is really the way that we can give back to those who have given so much to us, and we can give them the moments and the elements that we love most about the game of golf. As I travel around the country and talk to members and sections, I often hear stories about the person who introduced them to the game of golf. I hear them talk about, the day that they had their absolute best day on the course. Maybe they didn't shoot the lowest that day, but it was the best day that they had. And I always try to remind them that they can give that gift to someone who's wore the uniform. So this is going to touch lives. When you get involved with PGA Hope, it's going to touch lives that are right in your local community. Most people don't know, but in San Diego, there's about 150,000 veterans who are under the age of 65. These are men and women who've served in all the branches of service. They've done all kinds of different jobs, from doctors, nurses, dentists, public affairs, all the way to field artillery, the infantry, to EOD. So they're right there in your neighborhood. You're going to be able to change their lives and impact them right by the people that maybe you run into at the grocery store, or the people you go to church with. Veterans are everywhere. So we have the chance to really support people who are right next door. It's going to give PGA professionals the chance to showcase their skills, and it's going to further build your resumes. The good thing is veterans come to us with a variety of abilities when they come to a PGA Hope program. It's going to give you the chance to share those skills, or maybe hone a skill that you have, but also give you the chance to maybe learn a new skill. If a veteran needs a new adaptive way to do things, or maybe they need a new or different piece of equipment, it's going to give you that opportunity to improve your skills, but also to share something new with them. PGA Hope also includes an hourly honorarium and a stipend for those who lead or instruct in the program. So we know that your time is valuable. Sometimes maybe if you have an extra hour, if you have an extra 2 hours to give, we're willing to pay you for that generous time that you give us. And then lastly, while it's not the primary goal, it does grow participation in the game of golf. So I have some of my guys and gals who years ago, they had never been on a golf course. They didn't know, what a birdie was from a bogey. And today they're at the golf course every single day. And the good thing is that many of them are going to municipal courses, ranges, they're buying equipment, they're getting club fittings. So these are all kind of ancillary benefits of introducing them to the game of golf. So what is it? So at our mission statement level, PGA Hope is a rehabilitative program designed to introduce golf to veterans and active duty military in order to enhance their physical, mental, social, and emotional well-being. So I want you to recognize that where it says a really rehabilitative program designed to introduce golf. So actually what we're doing is golf is the second part of it. At first and foremost, we're a rehabilitative program that's really all about how do we give veterans the tools that they need in order to improve their well-being. I always say that we're building a community and we're providing a life skill, and golf is the mechanism by which we're doing it. So it's much different than kind of people who are coming to us to lower their handicap, or maybe they've got a member guest coming up and they've got to, fix their swing, or they've got to improve their putting, or, maybe they're just trying to hit it a little bit farther. Golf, our veterans are coming to us and coming to the game as a means of rehabilitation and coming to us using the game in a rehabilitative form. They're looking for community, and our goals are really to create a safe environment for them where they can establish a relationship with either a PGA professional or with other veterans who are also in the class with them. We want to have fun. I always say, we're not trying to put a man on the moon. We're just trying to have a good day. And that's what most of the veterans are really looking for. We're trying to teach them the etiquettes and the basics, including how to get out on the course, what to look for, some of the various, lingo that they need to know so that when they show up at the golf course, it kind of eases that anxiety, and they know what they need to do to just be able to go out there and a foursome with some buddies and have a good time. We also want to empower the veterans to feel confident playing on their own. Like I said, we're really trying to build and cultivate a community. And many of our graduates, once they've gone through the 6 to 8 week program, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to meet somebody next to them in class, or they're going to meet another graduate who's gone through the program previously. And the goal is for really them to get the chance to connect. Our guys and gals always share with me that some of the best times they have aren't in the tee box. The best times that they have are driving through the course, just being able to have a frank conversation with someone who's also been through the same thing. So we want to provide them that opportunity to then go out on the course, feel confident, feel like they can build that connection with each other, and just have a good time. So we are the flagship military program of the PGA of America. And I always put that in there because the name on the front, PGA, this is your program. It is led, supported, and made better by the time and the talent of our membership. There are a lot of different programs out there for veterans or for military, some for post 9/11 only. This is yours. And so our job at my level and at our organization is really, how can we help our members make the biggest impact for our active duty military and our veterans? So this is your program, you lead it, you instruct it, you're the best at teaching. So our hope is that, you know, you take ownership and take pride in this program. We do have a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Veterans Affairs, which is essentially our kind of good housekeeping stamp of approval. So what that means is that any VA hospital across the country, a doctor, a therapist, a counselor, anyone within the VA system, if they meet a veteran, they can say, have you thought about trying PGA Hope? Because again, there's a ton of different programs out there. The VA essentially looks at us and says, you guys are the best at what you do. PGA members are the best at what you do. We get their stamp of approval, and any veteran across the country from any VA hospital, VA clinic, community clinic, they can all come to us. The program today, as it is 215 program locations in 40 sections in 46 states. We are on track to serve over 7,000 veterans this year. In Southern California section, you have 5 program locations, and Amberlyn and Anthony can get you connected to one of those programs in the event that you want to know where they are, what golf course they're at, who the lead professional is. Those guys can get you immediately connected to start helping out. So our program structure, so like we said, you have 5 program locations here. We work with the sections to identify host locations, given things like proximity to the VA hospital, veteran population, accessibility on the course. Whenever we pick a site for a PGA Hope program, we really want to be strategic about where we put it. The great thing about the Southern California section is your veteran population is huge. You have veterans everywhere. So you have lots of opportunity to establish PGA Hope programs all throughout the section. We do want to make sure that the veterans are going to have access, ease, and accessibility can mean things like making sure that if it's a private club that, you know, the class can occur without impediments, making sure that if we're, you know, going out somewhere that might have hills or might have things where amputees might have an issue, that we're just kind of anticipating those and working around those. We just want to make sure that no veteran comes to us with some barriers of frustration that might cause them to kind of say, you know, I don't think the program is for me. We just want to make sure that we're anticipating some of those and then easing that so that they don't have anxiety and maybe walk away from a program that they might really need. All of the PGA professionals who participate in PGA Hope are trained. So Judy Alvarez, who I mentioned earlier, is our national trainer, as is Bob Eberly. He's on our national training team from the Northern California section. Our PGA professionals, when they are trained, they learn everything from adaptive golf techniques, working with blind veterans, those might be missing a limb, those might be in a wheelchair, and then military cultural competency. What does it mean when one of your class attendees says, hey, my MOS was a 25 Bravo? That makes sense to me, and I could kind of understand it, but it would, the training really helps you understand, what does that mean? What does going down range mean? What are some of the different stigmas that might be surrounding veterans and their abilities? So we work through those. It's one day, you get MSRs, you get a free lunch out of it. But most of all, you really learn a skill that you can take with you through the rest of your journey as a PGA member. Whenever we establish a HOPE program, it's 6 to 8 weeks. And it's taught by and led by PGA professionals. And so you're going to really start with everything from what I call grit to 9 holes. We start with the basic strokes first: driving, chipping, putting. Veterans love competition. So usually by the 4th or 5th class, we've learned enough skills, and some of the guys and gals are ready to maybe compete against each other a little bit. And from there, really we end the class with a graduation ceremony and going out on the course and just playing 9 holes together. We're really focused on, during that 6 to 8 week period, making people feel comfortable, making sure that everybody kind of knows what club that they can use, making sure that they feel like they know where they can go on the golf course, that they have that connection with each other in the class, that they have that connection with the instructor. And then by the end of it, they're really feeling a little bit more confident about going out onto the course themselves. Like I said, the community cultivation piece is just as important as the golf piece. So at graduation, you could have very different things that go on, but your section leads work with you to set up graduations and those different opportunities that you can have post graduation. So some sections do a variety of things, ranging from league play to various outings. If a PGA member is hosting an outing and they know, hey, I've got an extra foursome, they tap into some of their graduates and invite them out. Again, it's really all about that continuation of play, encouraging them to get out on their own, encouraging them to build a community of each other and leaning on each other. So some other initiatives that we have at the national level. So we have the Secretary's Cup. It's a championship level tournament for 12 teams. And those 12 teams are comprised of 4 veterans and 1 PGA professional. We do host it at our various championship sites. So every year it changes. This past year we were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we had teams from all over the country. Our various championship markets will submit a team, and then we have wild card applications. So any section around the country can submit a team to come and play. It's really becoming a flagship, just out of this world experience for a lot of our PGA Hope graduates and their PGA professional that comes with them. And so I've encouraged, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, to the Southern Cal section to submit for a wild card spot this year coming up. We'll be in Rochester, New York. We make it, again, a world-class experience. And the goal here is really for the veterans to walk away and say, I just played my major. It's such an amazing opportunity for them to go from, I've learned the game, I've been playing for maybe a year, really striving to get my game better, to now I'm playing at a golf course right outside of a PGA championship. And so it really just, it's over the top. I get so excited talking about it because the guys and gals get such a big impact. The photo that you actually see here on the page, that is from PGA Hope National Golf and Wellness Week, which we host at the beautiful Congressional Country Club. So National Golf and Wellness Week is when we bring 20 veterans from across the country who have been nominated by their sections to become a PGA Hope ambassador. And in that week, we pour into that veteran and give them all the tools and resources that they need to then come back to your section and act as an ambassador for the program throughout the section. So this year, you'll have a veteran who's going to be coming, and we are so excited to pour into him. He's coming out of your Coronado program, and we're just gonna love on him, give him all the tools and resources. We focus on some advanced golf skills, but most importantly, we focus on wellness opportunities and things to help him in his wellness journey. We partner with the Cohen Veterans Network, which is one of the leading veteran wellness and PTS and mental health organizations in the country. They are also partners with the VA, but they're an incredible organization, and they provide all of our wellness training. And then from a national level at PGA Hope, we also invest in supporting them in how they're going to engage more veterans to become a part of the program, how they can support section activities, and really be that veteran for the section in any kind of activities that they might have. And then lastly, we're working on something really exciting called the PGA Military Cup. So that we should have more details about that in the next couple of months. But that's something really exciting that we're working on to really kind of balance out all of these events and all of the ways that we're going to pour into PGA Hope graduates. I share all of these with you so that you know that there's even greater and bigger opportunities for PGA Hope graduates after they go through the 6 to 8 week program. So lastly, I always share this photo. This is one of my absolute favorite photos in the world. That is Chief Warrant Officer Gabriel Potter. Gabe actually came to us and is now an ambassador in the Middle Atlantic section. But Gabe actually came to us from Walter Reed. So Gabe was in their Marine Corps Adaptive Sports Program out of Walter Reed because of some various injuries that he had sustained. Gabe today works at Amazon and leads in some of their Amazon veteran military initiatives. Gabe had not been a super active golfer, but came to us just to learn the game of golf, graduated through a program, was nominated by his section to become an ambassador, has a great full-time job now outside of the military, has served his country in so many different capacities. And today he goes out and he recruits other veterans to become a part of the program. He has an incredible story, but the fact that we were able to really pour into him at both the grassroots level, the section level, and then the national level, it really gives you kind of a holistic picture of Gabe's journey. So I'll pause there and see if anybody has any questions, John.
Well, it looks like Gabe's got a pretty good swing for not being involved in the game for too long.
We say he's got a good swing for being a Marine, so we'll preface with that.
Well, for us in the Southern California section, it's hard to talk about PGA Hope and outreach without thinking about Joe Groman, former section member who is so heavily involved in that initiative. So for PGA members, beyond reaching out to Anthony and Amber Lynn, what are some other ways that we can get involved in supporting this program?
Sure. So I always say that section leads are the first place to start. And Amber Lynn and Anthony will be the first ones to say, hey, this is the immediate need we have, or they'll be able to immediately sign you up for training if you haven't attended training. Some of the other needs that we will have, and some of the other ways that I've seen PGA members get engaged is if you can't host a program, let's say you're at a private club or maybe you're a master club fitter at a company. One of the ways that you can support the program is by bringing that skill to the veterans and to the graduates. So maybe you can offer a club fitting for 10 graduates a year or 15 graduates a year. And that's your means of being able to contribute. Maybe you can come to 2 or 3 programs throughout the year, and you can act as sort of an aid and a volunteer in helping out. If you have a driving range and maybe you can't host a program, but you could offer free range balls on Sunday afternoons to graduates. Any which way you can come to the program and say, Yeah, I just want to be a resource. I'm not sure exactly what I might have or what I might be able to do, but I'm willing to support it. I know Amberlynn and Anthony could probably find a way for you to get engaged.
And that's in terms of the PGA member getting involved with supporting initiatives at one of the 5 locations in Southern California, which I'm not sure if do you know the 5 locations?
Yes, Buellton, Desert Willow, Coronado, and then there's 2 more that I don't know off the top of my head.
What about for PGA professionals at a facility that are interested in supporting a program at the facility? How would they go about getting evaluated?
So the first thing we do is connect with the section, and then the next thing we do is make sure you're trained. So if you haven't been trained, we can get a training scheduled within the section. I'd work with Amberlynn and Anthony to get that on the calendar and then get that promoted out to the membership. We'd attend the training. It's just one day. You learn so much. And then the next step would be, let's look at what kind of budget you would need. Our budget cycle at the national level occurs from October to December every year. So we're actually coming right up on that. And we'd be able to fund it the following year. But again, the section would submit that for funding, or the section could choose to fund it immediately if they had the funds and the budget available. And of course, if it aligns with their needs.
Would you say that PGA Hope is always looking for new facilities to host events at and programs at?
I would say that we're really looking in some of those strategic areas where there's a lot of veterans. Fortunately for you guys, you have a lot all over the place in Southern Cal, so you're in a good spot. And sometimes sections will go certain chapters by certain chapters. But of course, we're always looking to serve more veterans. So there's always an opportunity to either support an existing program or potentially start a new one.
Those are the questions that I got. I don't have anything in the anything left in the question box. Brandy, on behalf of the Education Committee for the Southern California PGA, we know that you've got another appointment this morning, and we're grateful that you carved out a little time to help educate the section. Thank you very much for coming on the Catalyst. For all the PGA members that are on this morning's call, there is 1 MSR credit that you will earn for attending Brandy's presentation. If you're watching this Catalyst through the section website on the Catalyst archive, there will be a 10-question quiz on the Catalyst. A score of 70% or better will earn 1 MSR credit for taking the Catalyst after the fact. Once again, thank you very much, Brandy, for being here this morning. For all the PGA members that came on the webcast this morning, thank you for supporting the Catalyst. Thank you for supporting PGA Hope. And have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Brandy. Take care.
Thanks, John. I appreciate y'all.